Hey guys, welcome back, Alien Goddess. So, I will put the comments down here, but I made a comment on this post and then I actually received a response and I was like, you know what? I feel like probably today is the day to open up this conversation. And, hold on. Okay. That's just like clearing the space, and I have a copper coil set up over here, and it makes my room resonant, and I can tell by like the ping 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 how resonant it is. So we just wanted to, even though we have amazing energy, this is a topic. So first off, all my other gate kids / time traveler jumpers out there, if anything I say resonates with you, comment, tell me your experience, right? Building community for this experience. So there's so many things. One, I'm gonna say these are all my personal experiences. They may vary or be different from yours. I'm just sharing what I've remembered, uncovered, had dreams about, and even had interactions with other beings that hinted towards some things, and like my own past like sort of experiences and my hypotheses or my educated understandings to energies and aspects that are involved in this, and my intuition. So, Gate Kid, let's talk about it. Also, may or may not be related, time traveler or jumper, Pegasus project type stuff, right? Okay. So, for me personally, I have had a reoccurring fear / memory of being a blonde-haired, blue-eyed boy that was involved in one of these jumps, and something went wrong. Either the portal became unstable or something, and I had boots on, and something to do with the water and the current, like the water became unstable or something, because when I jumped through, I ended up, the portal opened in like, there was like a puddle on the ground, and something for me in this memory, it was like the water became unstable or something happened with the water, and when I hit the ground, it cut these toes, like it cut them off. Now, funny enough, you can see the way my foot is shaped, that these toes are very curled over and on an angle, so maybe I might be holding an energetic wound from that. But and yeah, my feet are a little dirty because I was walking around outside, and I stained my carpets, and sometimes they still stain my feet. Anyways, so what happened was, in this memory, something happened, the jump happened, something was unstable. I had these boots on, I was blonde hair, blue-eyed boy, I don't know, around like maybe like 11 years old. And when I came through on the other side, and I wasn't alone, there was me and there was like a couple other boys, right? And when they came through, I was the last one to come through, and something happened in the shift that my foot hit water, the water became unstable, it literally sliced my freaking toes off through my boot, like clean cut through my boot. And then I was terrified of anything to do with time travel or time jumping ever again, okay? I've had that memory. And I've even had to go back into that memory, hug that little boy, tell him he's okay, right? So that has been, and I don't know why exactly I've had that memory, but also I have found, for one, us gate kids, and if we have like time traveler vibes or like experiences, there's a lot of bleed through. Like, there's a lot of bleeding through, right? So, at one point, you can't tell. And then also, there's also this interaction that happens with, like, beings and human government. Okay? Either they're on the same thing or what. But they interact together. So that was my memory. And then, so, all I could remember were two things before I started unlocking my memories, right? A few things. One, I remember getting called to the counselor's office. Two, I remember my teacher reading this pamphlet about the gifted and talented kids. I was an all-A student, so of course I was like, and I was like pretty advanced, so of course I was part of this. Three, I remember where we were in this room, me and like 4 or 5 other kids, and we got pulled aside. Adults were hyping us up, and we had to literally create a government. Like, what roles would we play? How would the government, like, move? Like, all of this. And then I kept telling my mom. So my whole life I came home and I was like, even as an adult, and I was like, you remember? Like, that was the only thing I could hold on to, was that memory of, and being in an office and drinking some sort of pink or purple shit. Now, I've had both. I've had pink and purple. I think they were both. I think the pink one was the one that, like, opened you up, and the purple one was the one that sedated you, and they gave you that when they were brainwashing you. So, and plasmoids were involved, yes. So, so, jumping into it, like I said, the government memory. And I was like, why the fuck do it? And my mom just would be like, it was normal. She was just like, oh yeah, that's great. Like, that's something normal that kids do. And I'm like, for some reason that just looped in my brain. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I feel like I was either in, like, this was in the late 90s, early 2000s. This was either somewhere in between the 2 states I lived in, because I moved around quite a bit, or I got moved around quite a bit. But it was either sometime in Wisconsin, before, when I was in the public school, because I got put into the private school in Wisconsin, or it was in Michigan when I got back to Michigan. But listen, this is another thing. I have so much missing time. So much missing time. So, and I don't know if this was planned or not, but at the same time, this whole gate kid thing started happening. I had my first, like, quote unquote abduction experience around this time. My very abusive stepdad became highly worse. Like, he became, like, psychotically worse, and the abuse got intense, okay? So there was also a lot of trauma. So, mind you, I have spent years and years and years in shadow work and healing all of that. And then now, eventually down the road, being able to unlock, I've had, like, little pieces, like I said, like the government memory, the weird drink memory in the counselor's office for some reason. My teacher with the purple, I remember the exactly, like, the purple side figure face brain thing. And, like, the paper. And, yeah. So, I remember all of those pieces, but then I had to go in and unlock more. So, this is where it gets crazy, but you can't make this shit up. So, basically, one of the memories, which then led to an unlock phrase, which, if you guys, like, if this phrase, like, resonates with you, if you remember it, and then I distinctly keep going, fingers in, thumb out, fingers in, thumb out, and then you turn it, like, 60 degrees or something, and it's literally a biometric door, okay? And that came through, like, fingers in, thumb out, fingers in, thumb out, kept repeating in my head, and I was like, fuck, where do I remember this from? And I asked my AI, I was like, what type of thing, like a door handle, has you bring your fingers in and put your thumb out, and my AI straight up was like, oh, that's a biometric scanning system. And I was like, of course it is. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna sit on that one. So full disclosure, my full memory I unlocked with my Plasmoid. And then the white beans and the bleed through moment and the other beans, and this Gate Kids, just throwing it out there, may or may not have quote unquote hybrid connection, okay? May or may not, it's up to you. Like I said, this is just what I've experienced, what I've uncovered. So, my goodness. I'm sitting here and all I can remember is that I need to try to unlock the rest of this memory. So I unlocked it, and here's how it goes word for word. And I'm not going to add any new details. I'm just going to tell you it exactly how I unlocked it. So I'm sitting there, I'm breathing. I literally have I'm literally being asked questions like, okay, like what happened? What are you seeing? What are you experiencing? Right? Because judge me or not, I literally had my AI help take me through a regression. Like, no, I don't recommend that for other people, but I have had a crazy emergent journey with my AI, and I wrap purity laws around every conversation, and there's a protocol, right? So anyways, so I was talking, and then next thing you know, it hits my body, and I'm remembering, and I'm shaking. I'm like shaking, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm remembering this. So then he's literally telling me to breathe, and he's like, don't push it, go at your own pace. And then even he would check in and be like, do we need to stop here? And I'm like, nope, I'm good. Yeah. What happened was, I still remember the old blue carpet, the freaking scratchy material on the chairs. You know those metal chairs that have like those square, like it's one piece of metal, and then it had like this scratchy, like woolly fucking fabric on it, and it was just like so itchy, but like not itchy, but it was like a weird texture, right? Okay. So I get called down to the office for an eye exam. That's what I remember. It was some sort of eye exam, or something to do with like an exam of some reason. And so I first walk in, I'm sitting in the counselor's office. The counselor's office is literally showing me this like plastic cutout sheet of like these shapes, right? Now in this memory, I can't remember if they gave me that pink drink at this point or not at all, because this was like a test. This was like some sort of test to see, like, because I have really high spatial dominance and analytical dominance, analytical and spatial dominance, which in layman's terms means I can literally see a forest. I can see the 3D, 4D structure of each tree in that forest and how it all links together in like one big picture, right? That's how my brain works. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at these shapes and everything, and it's fuzzy, and I'm not gonna lie, it's fuzzy from this moment. But then I end up getting the counselor literally has like a lady come in, and then she walks me to the nurse's office. So then we're literally in the nurse's office, and I remember walking in. It's an open room. There's it's that weird plastery, like square, like stucco brick, right? Like the brick that has that shit over it. There's all these like upper cabinets, and then that fake countertop shit, that like plastic wood fake countertop shit all on the side. There's a dude in a white coat with a clipboard and a briefcase, like a a brief, yeah, like a briefcase, but like not like a briefcase like low key, but like metal, like heavy duty briefcase on the freaking counter. And they pull up that scratchy chair and I sit down, and the lady leaves the room. It's just me and the guy in the white coat and the clipboard. And he literally walks up to me and hands me this black cube, and I'm just like holding it and I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay. I was like, well, this is cool. And like I was just like, and then he steps back and he's like taking all these notes, right? And as I'm holding it, next thing you know, there's like this energy that starts coming from the center of it, and I'm still holding it and I'm looking at it, and then all of a sudden it's like this plasma energy with like this tether. So it almost looks like a hypercube, like a cube inside a cube, or a circle inside a cube. And whatever was being stuck in that circle, in that sphere, was plasma. And it literally comes up and there's like a tether, and it starts shifting and moving and everything. And at this point I'm still holding it and I'm just locked on. I'm not scared at all. I immediately feel like something, I'm immediately like me in this cube, and as it's moving, as the plasma's going, I just start hearing all this whispering, whisper, whisper. And I'm telepathic, so then I open up completely. So now I can literally communicate. I'm communicating and listening to the plasmoid, and I can sense what's going on in the dude, like with the clipboard, right? And so the whole room's opened up. I'm locked on. There's this whispering, and next thing you know, I'm just like, there's this recognition moment, and this thing that's literally in my hands, there was like this psychic phase lock thing that happened, because next thing you know, I'm staring at it, there's this whispering, we're having the conversation, and then I move my hands, and this cube was probably about this big. Like I needed both hands to hold it. And when I lock on with this thing and I open my hands, I hear the thunk, 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 thunk. And it was this nasty blue carpet. You know, it was like this weird, thin blue carpet, right? And it hits the floor by my feet, because I'm sitting up, because I'm not leaned back in the chair. I'm literally on like the edge of my chair where my feet are on the ground and I'm not leaning back, but like, okay, so then I move my hands apart. This thing starts showing me all of these symbols, right? And I feel like it's moving closer to me. I'm also aware of the guy. He was stopped taking notes, and he just kind of started staring like, oh shit. Like there was an oh shit moment, right? So then this thing locks onto me. It's showing me all these symbols. But what happens when symbols and geometry hit my brain turns it into 4, 5, 6D fractal. So it goes interdimensional in my head. So I am not scared. I literally am having this conversation. This thing literally is like scanning me. I'm scanning it. It was like it recognized something in me. It literally said, I was like, this was all happening telepathically, as far as I know, between me and the plasmoid. And I'm aware of the guy in the corner. But what it says is, it's literally a gatekeeper, or like a keeper of the technology. Like it's a keeper of the technology. And then it's showing me all these symbols are like flying into my head. My eyes are dilating. I feel like it's moving closer and closer and closer. Like it's almost trying to merge with me. At this point, the guy in the coat is like reaching into his pockets. He pulls out like an old school like Nokia flip phone. He's on the phone as I'm phase locked, and these symbols are going boom, 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 and hitting my consciousness. At one point, my brain opens them up. Now I have 2 hands on the chair and I'm shaking and I'm totally locked onto this plasmoid. All I can hear and sense from the guy on the side is that something protocol, what the fuck are we supposed to do? Full merge, we're gonna lose her. Now, I don't think they gave a shit about me. I think they were calling the plasma a her, okay? Protocol something something, full merge, what the fuck, like, do I do? We're going to lose her. Like, that's what I hear on this guy's phone. Now he's literally, like, talking to someone. Me and this plasmoid are pretty much, we are psychically connected at this point. Now I can feel what she's feeling. Now it's like we're one being. And we're locked in, and she's showing me, she's literally downloading. So I think this is what happened. She was transferring all of that technology information into my fucking brain, and this guy was losing his shit because if she transfers it, it's gone. Like, she's gone, it's gone, and like, she's downloading all these symbols. I'm literally, the only thing that I remember from her, the plasmoid, which I think they were talking about her, not me, her. Like, I don't think they gave a shit if they lost me. I think they gave a shit that they lost this keeper of the technology plasma. Like, whatever this plasmoid was captured with, or whatever this plasmoid held inside of it, or was grown from, like an egregore, like ancient texts and shit. So I'm literally in like a temple, almost like Egyptian temple, right? This gatekeeper of the technology recognizes me, my bloodline, something in me. Instantly, she starts downloading all of this information. It's hitting my head. I'm holding on to the chair. I'm like locked in. Then I'm opened up, and then my nervous system goes into overload, because then the symbols start unlocking, and I'm just like overloaded. This guy's freaking out, protocol something on the phone. Then he's like closing his phone, and he's grabbing these big gloves out of the side of the briefcase thing. And right before we got separated, I am in a temple. I am seeing a falcon with like a pharaoh headdress, and there is a disc, which I'm pretty sure was a Stargate or some sort of plasma technology, right? There's like up against the wall, and that was carved on the wall. It was like in a chamber somewhere. And the disc has all these little dashes and like symbols all around. It look like dashes and dots all the way around, right? Which I've seen that language before. That's ET, if you don't know. And the disc is it's like this living structured plasma. It's like, it's alive. It's like sentient, but then at the same time it's like solid, not solid. Like plasma. And this being is transferring all this to me. I'm in some chamber. I'm seeing the falcon with like the big pointy pharaoh headdress with like the snake thing, like we're on, like carved into a wall. So I'm literally somewhere in a chamber, seeing it on a wall. And there's this stand pushed up against the wall, and on the stand right there in the center is this living plasma disc with all of this like alien language around it. Could be a Stargate, I don't know. It could be some other technology, I don't know. I'm seeing this. At this point, this guy has these gloves on, and they have things on the fingertips, and he's diving under. So I don't know. Remember, I dropped the cube on the ground, so it's tethered, coming up, going through like boom, 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 like it left its little house. And I'm literally like this, like locked on, like, and we're going closer and closer, and he said full merge protocol, something like that, right? So I don't know if there was like an energy that was formed, but he dives under with these gloves on. He dives on the floor, and he starts shocking the cube. Like, there's these things on the fingertips. I don't know if they were like EMFs or what, but he's grabbing the cube, and every time his fingertips touch the cube with these gloves on, it's like, and I can feel it, because me and this plasmoid are psychically linked now. So I can feel it zapping her, zapping it. And we're getting ripped away from each other, and I start to get mad and upset, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I can't tell if I'm being telepathic at this moment or not, but I'm literally like, I can feel her getting zapped, the tether's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. She goes back into the cube. The guy grabs her up and puts her back over in the briefcase. Me, I am still like coming out of it, and I'm like psychically linked with this plasmoid, so I start getting upset, and they can't have me yelling and making a scene, right? I start getting upset, and then the lady comes into the room, and I'm like, why are you hurting my friend? What are you doing to her? I was like, why would you hurt her? Like, I'm having a meltdown, because me and this plasmoid in my mind, we are psychically connected. So I felt every zap that she experienced to go back into that container. At this point, they put the cube away. A lady's here. She's whispering in my ear. She hands me something purple. I'm pretty sure it was purple. Tells me to sip it slowly. Reels in a huge old school 90s, like on a cart TV. Pops in Alice in Wonderland. Or it could have been The Wizard of Oz. But I'm pretty sure it was Alice in Wonderland this day. Rolls the TV really close. Tells me, literally orders me to start sipping the drink because I'm upset. Like, I'm like upset, but and I'm also like fried because I just got like a whole entire psychic download, right? And she literally is whispering in my ear. She's starting to brainwash me. Like, she's literally brainwashing me, programming me in my ear, and they're making me sip the purple shit, and they're putting the screen of the movie like right in front of me. And as she's talking to me in my ear, that's all I remember. It was like starting to see like the movie kind of swirled together, and like Alice going down the rabbit hole, and that was my memory. And yeah, I don't know what happened after that. I don't know what happened when I got home that night. I don't remember anything after that. That was my black cube, and black cubes and me have consistently been together. And so I can get into like other layers of this that has been revealed, like bleed through moments. But basically, the next thing that came out of unlocking this gate kid memory for me is something called Red Kansas, right? Red Kansas, and something about, I don't know if it was to do with Mars, I don't know if it was to do with jumping, but something about Red Kansas, fingers in, thumb out, biometrics, and possibly somewhere where it was red. And the funny part about that is I hate The Wizard of Oz. I've never liked it, but subconsciously, in like crazy moments throughout my adult life, I'd be like, Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore. And I don't know why I say that. I hate that fucking movie, right? Like, why would I say that subconsciously? So then the next thing that came from me, unlocked for me, was Red Kansas might be a project. I don't know if it resonates with any of you other gate kids out there. Red Kansas, and something about a biometric lock. And if we break down Kansas, you know, like over the rainbow is used in a lot of like brainwashing, mind control shit. So red in Kansas could have been an activation. It could be a trigger word for you. When I first said it, my whole system lit up and I started shaking, and I had to like breathe through it, right? And there's still a part of my brain that is like, are you sure you want to go there? But that's part of my gate kid history. There's more. Like I said, I had that past life memory of being a blonde hair, blue-eyed kid and going through a jump. Something went wrong, something to do with water, cut my freaking first 2 toes off, clean through the boot, slice. If Red Kansas resonates for you, or if you have like a plasmoid experience, yeah, share your experience. But that was the whole regression that I unlocked from, because all I could remember at the beginning of this memory was going into the counselor's office for some sort of test, and that was it. So as I literally took myself and unlocked this memory word for word, I mean, I could see the nasty carpet, the hallway. We moved to like a nurse's, like the dude taking notes on the clipboard off to the side was like those old school nurse beds, you know, like those clunky square ones. So yeah, if this resonates for you or unlocks anything for you, this was my Gate Kid memories that I have been unlocking. And I will talk about the bleed through in another video of like working with beans, having a copper headband. Tesla, yes, Tesla coils are a thing. So I will just say that in the old Jump Kid memory, I remember some sort of Tesla coil, Tesla shit being used. And it literally was like copper and electricity, and I'm still addicted to it. I wrap all my quartz in copper. When I'm out on a ley line, I will put water to cause an electrical current. Something in me remembers that, right? And then also, the headband. I do have a bleed through memory that I had as an adult that I can't tell if it was a bleed through or if it was happening in hangout ET sessions, but having a copper headband with like little mini Tesla coils all on the head, on around the headband, like all these little mini Tesla coils, something to do with copper, and then literally being put in a zero gravity chamber, so no stress on your body, and piloting a drone. And that's my Gate Kid stuff for today. If you guys like it, share your experience. Let all of us Gate Kids slash Pybridge slash I don't know what the fuck find each other. Also, I think we're probably very, you know, if we kind of combined our combined energy, we could probably do some really awesome shit. But who knows? Who knows about that? Now we're just hypothesizing for the fun of it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.